I just wanted to share a dream that I had 2 nights ago, and it's one that I don't really know the interpretation, but it seems prevalent to the world and the things that are going on, and I'll just share it real quick. And it was me on a bus, and there was a lot of people on that bus, and I remember that I was first talking to a girl. I was like looking behind me, and she was explaining to me how she thought the universe was created and what the whole purpose of the universe was. It was very new agey, something about like physics or stars in the sky. And I gently corrected her or showed her a different perspective by sharing about the Garden of Eden, and that when Adam and Eve sinned, then there was a fall, and everything from that point forward became immersed in sin. And this was revolutionary to her. It was as if she had never heard this before. I also thought that was kind of interesting that she hadn't heard of sin before. And then I saw myself on the back of the bus, and on each side of the bus, I could see these enormous waves in the ocean. And I remember looking at them and thinking, well, this is what it looks like to just die in a situation that you'd never expect, like where you'd be just submerged under water that seemed like it was as tall as like the Empire State Building. And I was like, wow, this is going to be a wild experience. And I knew I was like toast, but nothing happened. You know, we went through the water, and I couldn't figure in my dream if this was like a thing I saw or if this a vision in my sleep. I was thinking that. So I went to the driver of the bus and I told them that I've been having dreams about waves that were about to come and crash against this bus. And I told this to the passenger. The passenger had some faith, and they believed it, but barely. They were kind of like, I've heard something like this before. And they redirected my attention to the driver. I told the driver, and he was kind of a know-it-all. Like, he kind of was like, yeah, I've heard that people have had dreams like that, but I don't really think too much of that. I'm the driver. You know, he didn't take it seriously. But I was explaining, no, I've seen dreams where water is going to crash against our bus. And these are mornings I was explaining, and the person was just like, not interested. And then the very end of the dreams, I told a final person. This person was like evil. Like they did not only want to not hear that, they had this like dark look in their eyes, like, if I don't stop talking about this warning, then there will be major like this person was going to literally like punch me. They had like hatred and death in their eyes. So that was very intense. And so I kind of withheld, and I was like, wow, I realized that people do not want to hear about these waves, that I believe these waves were for sure about to happen. And why wouldn't other people want to know about this? But nobody wanted to know. And that's kind of where my dream ended. So when I woke up, I was lying in the bed, and I was just waking up, and I saw my little girl. I looked at her, and for some reason in my mind, I immediately thought of the magic school bus, and I wasn't even thinking about the dream. I just thought of her as a girl on the magic school bus. And then I remembered my dream. Other people have had dreams about buses and trains and airplanes and being on it, representing the rapture. That could very well be that. I'm not too sure. I've had many of those airplane dreams. I've had dreams about trains. So I'm having dreams of these like transportation vehicles, and I'm seeing like problems around these vehicles. Could be some form of protection. Maybe there's more interpretations. I just wanted to share that because it was quite profound. And when you get those profound dreams, they're like unlike the rest, where, I mean, I have lots of dreams, but I forget most of them. But then there's some that you remember every detail, and they're like a punch, you know, it's just like boom, and you just remember all the details, and they're not so complicated either. They're quite simple. So that's why I like to share these, because it seems possibly that they're divine, and it's good to document these. Thank you so much for listening. God bless.